Here we go. The truth is simple. Diogenes. This is the simple truth, number 3, entitled The Truth About Race. There are racist lesson plans and free-form indoctrination occurring in our schools. This includes having kids list out and discuss disadvantages and ways they are victimized if they are black or brown, and list out and apologize for all their privileges if they are white. In some places, students must act out being slaves or slave owners, even to the point of putting on faux slave shackles. Some schools have started colored-only clubs and activities that exclude whites. Teaching black kids to hate whiteness and teaching white kids to hate themselves or hate the blacks who hate them will help neither black nor white kids. Teaching children race hatred will not make them better people. It certainly won't make them smarter students or help them to succeed in life. Race baiting in any form is not only disgustingly wrong morally and ethically, but it is highly destructive to any society where it is promoted. You don't have to look far to see that truth. Take Rwanda, an African country where 1 million Tutsis were slaughtered and another 500,000 raped in just 3 months during 1994. All done after radio programs that dehumanized them ran hatred as a theme. Or the Nazis in Germany, who dedicated many resources and men to exterminating Jews following a decade of insane rants by Hitler and others. During the 3 centuries of the transatlantic slave trade that brought at least 10 million Africans to the New World, an estimated 1 million died in forced marches to the African coast, and another 1 million plus died during the sea voyage across the Atlantic. Today in China, certain ethnic groups are revered and others actively denigrated. The acts committed against the unfortunate disfavored groups are evil and despicable. The list is a long one, believe me, and they all end in many deaths. There is a reason why civil societies discourage racial and ethnic hatred, why Rwanda criminalized race hate soon after the horrific genocide. There is a reason why numerous organizations rose up to condemn anti-Semitism following World War II, why the NAACP was formed to protect blacks and condemn racism in America. To do otherwise is to invite disaster to repeat itself. So why would anyone want to teach or preach race hatred in American schools now? It certainly makes no sense. I believe it is the byproduct of groupthink. Groupthink can be the everybody knows that so often turns out to be untrue. Mob mentality that so easily departs from anything resembling rationality and quickly descends into bloodlust. Groupthink is also the low IQ thinking that paints with an indiscriminate brush an entire group of people. A equals A equals A. There need be no factual basis or logic involved. In fact, it is often better if there is no truth to the claim. Made-up lies are surprisingly difficult to shed. Lies are how stereotypes are created and maintained. Groupthink is stupid think. Always. That is a universal truth for all times and places. It is the essence of what defines bigotry and discrimination. Groupthink is also highly destructive of individuals and their ability to function as individuals. Groupthink says that the group is everything and that the individual is nothing, which, in the final analysis, is what every group, small as a family or large as a nation, is composed of: individuals. I promise you, without individuals, no groups exist. Therein lies its Achilles heel, for only an individual can think. In fact, groups don't think at all. Even in a mob, you will find one individual in particular who is fomenting trouble. Every single thought or idea that has ever been generated has as its source an individual. This is why whenever groupthink takes over a scene, no dissenting thought can ever be tolerated. 50 million monkeys with 50 million keyboards, given enough time, will never type the complete works of William Shakespeare, much less one decent poem. Never. William Shakespeare did that. An individual. Currently, AI is all the rage. Computers that will outthink and outcreate man. I'd like to point out that individuals invented computers, and computer chips, and programs, and all the ideas that have to be put into computers before they will do anything at all. Groupthink is destructive of intelligence, which depends on the ability to observe and differentiate. Discovery and invention, by definition, require the ability to look and think outside the box, which is just another way to say, think as an individual. Examine any of the great accomplishments throughout history that moved humanity forward. I think you will find in each case, especially at the origin, an individual providing the idea and spark to drive the deeds forward. Certainly groups are important. You don't win in team sports without a team. In that sense, groups can be the team of life. But you don't win at the expense of the individual. It is the individual who can arise above the fray and bring true unity. Groups seldom do. I call it the power of one. And currently the lessons on race being pushed in schools are nothing but groupthink. If you said we are training racists, you wouldn't be far off. Black kids talking about getting rid of whiteness will lead to white kids talking about getting rid of blackness. Conflict and battle are never far behind. Fighting racism with racism is like fighting a fire with gasoline. Everyone gets burned. In the human race, there are differences. We can see them clearly with our own eyes. However, these are mostly superficial differences. We have vastly more things in common. We all bleed red. Martin Luther King was right about content of character being more important than color of skin. We should be rising above race, not burying ourselves with race. Celebrate individuals, and you will find a wide spectrum of differences within any group, and between groups as well. Variety is the spice of life. And you will also find we are not so different from one another as we might have thought. That's the simple truth. That's all for now. Thanks so much for listening. Stay connected to The Truth Window by subscribing to my podcast at thetruthwindow.substack.com. You'll get notified when the next episode is available. If you stick to the truth, no lies can stick to you. So long for now.